Hi everyone, the Hydro Vac is fully charged and still haven't used it yet. I'm going to take and fill the solution tank. The solution tank, I already read the directions on the back here, and it also has a QR code for any extra help, but I mean, it doesn't get any more simple. You fill it up with water to here and then up to this line with concentrate and put it in and go. And I didn't read the instructions, but I'm going to assume you don't really want hot water. Most of these are not set up to do that. You just want just regular tap water. So, there might be a hair over on the water mark. The little slit I made in this is just leaking. Let's try and. Okay, there we go. Put that on. Not too bad to fill. I don't really like that this is kind of slanted. I'd like to be able to sit this down and double check the levels and fill it a little more accurately instead of just holding it and eyeballing it. It's always nice when, I mean, this will sit, but it's tapered on an angle. I mean, it'd be nice if it was a flat top to it. That would sit a little better. See how it is on its maiden voyage. Take too long to start putting solution down. Definitely the brush roll seems to definitely be contacting the floor good because it's almost self-propelled. It likes to try and pull forward. The swivel, it's very kind of touchy when the brush is spinning. The head kind of wants to flop around pretty good. I'll run it some more, clean more of the floor, and we'll see how much water it uses and how much dirt it actually picks up. I don't know if it really has much of anything in here yet, because it doesn't look like it uses tons of water. Which, the little bit of water in here is definitely very dirty, but it's a very concentrated little couple drops of water. So, kind of like some of the reviews were saying that it looks like, even though this tank is, a very small water tank, that it's actually very efficient in its, the little bit of water that it uses. So we'll see. Do a little more here. kind of a neat feature. When you shut it off, I think it shuts the brush roll off and probably, I'm sure, stops dispensing water, and it runs the suction motor for like a second or two afterwards to try and probably get any excess water that it may have put down. Okay, now we got some water in there, and that little bit of water is absolutely disgusting looking. And I did pre-vacuum before I ran this because I don't like the concept of using these as a actual like dry vacuum on top of mopping as a like a 2-in-1 or all-in-one system, because when you put water in with dirt, it creates mud and the slurry and just makes a mess to clean up. So I'd rather just pre-vacuum. So it looks like it did a pretty good job. Let's see. Brush roll. This really, I mean, it's a little bit damp here and there, but I mean, I'm sure I didn't vacuum completely. I just ran over quick with the Miele Triflex, and that's still really clean and nice. The brush roll, I think compared to what I can remember on having the Crossway, the brush roll seemed a lot more saturated, which you can see this from it spinning. It has the nap, you know, has a direction now. But this really is only kind of damp, which, you know, I think is part of the idea of this, you know, that Shark went with the small tanks and the auto like water delivery system, where you don't have to push a trigger and then release the trigger and then suck up the water. You know, it's kind of an all-encompassing system. And I know with the Crosswave, I always felt like I'd have to take the brush roll out, and in the caddy they had the little slot where you could stick it up on end, and it still didn't ever seem to want to dry right, and I didn't like that about that. But this, I feel like it might actually dry itself and, you know, not lead to odor and bacteria, which is an antimicrobial brush roll, supposedly, so it's supposed to help eliminate some of that problems anyways. Yeah, it is pretty nice. I mean, it pretty much everywhere you run over with it, it does make, you know, the whole floor just ever so damp. But you can see already it is starting to dry. The floor, what I can tell is that drying, the floor does look a little more even and clean. I know this floor was dirty from having rain last week, and I was kind of letting it go to actually have something to test it with, you know, actually having it a little bit dirty. I don't think I'm going to try it on area rugs right now, because it does have the button where I'm assuming, I think it pretty much just lets out more water to do area rugs, but I don't really need to do any right now. And, you know, this is just to freshen up area rugs, so I'm not, you know, not really a feature I was needing or wanting it for. You know, that's kind of like a little afterthought that these can kind of do. But definitely like it so far. The floor's already drying. It looks nice. It definitely picked up a lot of nasty junk. Having one of these in a cordless already is much nicer than the corded models, because it's just a lot more convenient. And I was actually thinking about it over, like, even say the Crosswave when they first came out. I don't know if they still do it, but on the when you would sit it on the cleaning tray that those had, because it was a corded model, it wasn't a charging base. I think you had like a measuring cup, and you'd have to dump X amount of water in and turn it on and then turn it back off. This is actually nice from what it's supposed to do. What I read is when you stick it on the base, it obviously will start charging, and it senses, and then it knows it's on the base as well, obviously. But you're supposed to hit the power button again, and then it automatically does the cleaning cycle. So I don't you know, I don't think you even have to turn it back off. I think it's supposed to automatically shut itself off, I think. Hopefully it don't rattle around too much or anything being up on the counter. Oh, there it is now. It's back on, it's charging. And I think this is supposed to be like the cleaning function from what it shows here. So let's try and hit the power button and see what it does. So yeah, it does automatically shut itself off. So that is nice. You can pop it on the dock, hit the power button to do the self-cleaning cycle, and pretty much, you know, let it go. Just then, you know, occasionally if it's dirty or, you know, you want to clean it out, I would definitely dump the dirty water tank every time though. But that was actually a pretty comprehensive, you know, cleaning function. It cycled the brush roll, the suction motor, and how much water put out, and definitely was doing a lot more water than the regular hard floor setting. Probably as much water or close to it as what it would do on the like area rug setting. So, you know, it definitely looks like a pretty comprehensive cleaning cycle. So it definitely thought that through and did a pretty good job on that, because it definitely used a good amount of water compared to what even it took just to do the kitchen floor here. Nasty little water. And how much water did it use? Okay, yeah, this is the side. It did from there. It probably used about 6/10 of the fresh water tank of the cleaning solution of water to do this and run the self-cleaning cycle. So that's not too bad. Definitely not going to, doesn't look like you're going to be able to do tons with, you know, on a tank full. But I did go over this floor pretty much like twice. I was going over areas, multiple passes, but the floor is pretty much dry. It looks really nice. The sheen looks pretty uniform across. I mean, I don't really see, which I mean, being linoleum, you don't really expect to see like streaking or like, you know, tons of overlap marks or anything. It's not as bad as doing like hardwood flooring sometimes, but it looks really clean and really nice. from what I can remember of the Crosswave, I definitely like this a million times better. And I'm comparing this to the Crosswave a lot just because they're the same principle with like a spinning microfiber brush roll on it. So yeah, definitely liking this. It's a very good setup, and the battery only, I don't even know if it really dropped down to 2 full bars, but it only, when it's charging, it's just showing the last third of it charging on here now. But yeah, so it didn't really use much battery life, didn't use much water, not really wasting a bunch of solution, and got very nice results. So very happy with it. Definitely happy I got the cordless version. I just got to find a place to put the charging docking station for it and give it a new home. And hope you guys like the video. Please like, comment, and subscribe.